Hi, I am the Chainsawing Yeti. I'm going to tell you the story of my trip to Louisiana to help Steve from Metal and Wood. And what he did to me after I got home. I have watched the Metal and Wood channel since it started. I thought Steve was a great guy with a lot of knowledge. Boy, was I wrong. I figured I would get along with him pretty well, as I seem to get along with older generation. I don't like the people my age. They very rarely know what they are doing. My wife knows that I like to watch his channel, and I even helped him with something that he was having trouble with over YouTube. Again, or so I thought. Anyway, my wife set up with Steve to go down to Louisiana to his property to help him get it set up. He told her that there would be pay, not much, but that I would get some kind of payment, like I figured chainsaws or money, whatever works for me. I like to barter. He told her he would pay for my bus ticket there, which he did. But here's the thing, and then he would provide all food and drinks and would drive me back home when it came time in January for me to go home. All sounds way too good to be true, but he seemed like a really swell guy, so I was more than up for it. So we started the process to pack my bags. We emptied all of the fluids out of my saws so that they could go on the bus without leaking all over my other stuff. I packed a tent, warm clothes, work clothes, and all the other odds and ends you need. Okay, when I say I actually mean my wife. She is really good at making sure I have everything I need and more. Her philosophy is it's better to have and not need than to be stuck in the middle of the woods and not have what you need. So after everything was packed, we celebrated Christmas, because this trip was to be my Christmas present from my wife, but unfortunately was during Christmas with my family. Then the next morning it was time to get on the bus. I will never ride a bus again. Worst experience. Like, trust me, you do not want to do it. Take your own vehicle, rent a vehicle, it'll be way better. So I got to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And I was like, oh, I can get past that bus ride. It wasn't that bad. Oh, I'm about to really have fun. You know, I was cracking, ready to go. So I'm looking around for Steve. So I call him because I don't see him. He answers and he says, oh, I got a green Ford F1 or F250 with a camper top. So he pulls up, we load my bags up, I get in, and he presents me with a cold Chick-fil-A sandwich. But I was so hungry, I didn't care, man. I ate that thing because I hadn't eaten nothing in 23 hours, I think it was. So it was pretty crazy. They didn't stop at any restaurants or anything. Those buses suck. But so I'm going to help him set up his property, Mr. Steve from the Metal and Wood channel there. And I was thinking maybe it would open some doors for me, because I'm like, oh, he's a YouTuber and stuff. This guy seems like he's pretty cool, you know. So we talk, we're going to stop at the Walmart. I needed to get a rain jacket and a couple little odds and ends. Well, we get there, and they were closing early because it was Christmas Eve, so we didn't get to go into Walmart, and I didn't get to get a rain jacket or nothing. Which really was about to suck, I would find out. But, so then we sit there in the parking lot, and we wait, and I meet his friend in Jawa, and we do a short video there in the parking lot. And then we drive 30 miles to his property. And then at this point, after we get out there and I look around, I realize that's all it is. There's a trailer stuck in the mud. There's a couple containers that I can see with my flashlight because it's so dark out. And I would have thought he would have cleared places for a camping site. That would make sense if you're inviting somebody down to help you work on your property, and you know, you would have something set up. You know, maybe a fenced in area or something so the predators can't get to you. But we get there and he's all like, well, tonight we can just sleep out here on the trailer out in the open. Well, as I was looking around to see what was out there, I noticed there was boar tracks everywhere. And what looked like coyote tracks and everything else. So you're not going to want to be sleeping on an open trailer. So I said, no, you need to open that container up. I'm going to sleep in that container there. So then I get up after I had set all my stuff up. I called my wife, told her what was going on. Well, I get up a little while later because I had passed out while I was on the phone with her, and I had to go to the bathroom. While I'm out going in the bathroom, well, I hear a noise. So I brought a really good flashlight with me, so I concentrated the light on it, and their big boar was watching me take a pee. And I don't think I've ever went to the bathroom that fast in my life. I made it quick and got back into that container. Well, then I went back to sleep. After a while, it took me a minute to go back to sleep, but I went back to sleep. The next morning when I got up, I called my wife right away, and she answered, and I was like, first thing she says, she was like, oh, what was going on last night? It sounded like something was beating the crap out of that container. And, well, I guess that pig was sitting there hitting up against the container because I had peed all over his trail area, and he was not happy I was on his property. So I decided from that moment on I wasn't sleeping outside in no tent. Not after he had my scent. But, alright, this is part 1. We'll hit you up with part 2 here in a little bit.